Secondly, you'll be able to love them enough to daily expose them to the Bible. And that will be a labor of love. Look with me, 2 Timothy chapter 3. Some well-known scriptures here. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14 and 15. But as for you, continue in what you have learned, Timothy, and have firmly believed, knowing from whom you learned it, and how from childhood you have been acquainted with the sacred writings, which are able to make you wise for salvation through faith in Christ Jesus. Jump back to chapter 1 and look at verse 5. I'm reminded of your sincere faith, a faith that dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and now I am sure dwells in you as well. And Paul reminds him as he's encouraging him and telling him to do these things, he's reminding him that it was his mother and grandmother who taught him the scriptures at a young age. By the way, the Greek word here for childhood could also be translated infancy. His mother and grandmother were teaching Timothy the scriptures even while he was a toddler. When you get job one down, then you learn to love your kids enough to make sure that you are implanting the word and living the word. Church like Crossroads that does as good a job as we do at proclaiming and spreading and communicating the word cannot hold a candle, listen, to mom and dad at home. And moms and dads handling the word at home and teaching their kids the word and living the word. When the truth is, mom and dad are the key. You're the key. You're the key not just on every other thing in life. You're the key on the word. You're the key. The church is not the key. You ought to come together. Look, you ought to come together as a family once a week, at least once a week as a family. Turn off the phones. Turn them off. Turn off everything else. And spend some time as a family looking at the Bible or talking about spiritual things or talking about theological issues.
We sing together, lift our voice. In this family we rejoice. Crossroads where our hearts align. In God's love we find the sign. Every face a smiling friend. Every prayer and joy we send. In this place of peace and grace, we find our sacred space.